Hello, my name is Leah Guzman, and I welcome you to leahguzmanstudio.com. Today, we are going to be talking about healthy boundaries and why they're important, right? So, healthy boundaries is all about limits that you are putting on yourself and others so that you can have some protection, okay? And if this is something that you struggle with, I totally understand, because I've had my own personal experiences with having a little bit of weak boundaries where I was saying yes to people where it wasn't in alignment for me, and I overextended myself, and it led me to a lot of burnout, and that was no fun. So I always check in with myself first, say, is this a true yes? Am I excited about this? Then I'm going for it, right? But what happens is sometimes we are not in check with ourselves. This is something we have to do on a consistent basis, because boundaries, they're almost like invisible, right? But they do relate to every aspect of our life. There's physical boundaries, where people might come into your space, right? Or even touch you, which, is something that you either want or don't want. It could be emotional. Maybe someone says something to you that's not very nice and kind of hit a boundary that they shouldn't be crossing. Or even spiritual boundaries of energetically being draining, right? So it's really important to think about who in your life or what's happening in your life where you feel like your energy is being depleted. If it's not lifting you up and making you excited, then you should check yourself, right? Because there are relationships that will test our boundaries, right? And we need to say, hey, maybe I do need to put some limits on here, okay? So I did a visual. I'm gonna show you what boundaries look like. Some boundaries are a little bit more rigid, some boundaries could be a little bit weak, and it's from our life experiences and what we've been taught of how we've created these boundaries, right, for ourselves. And we're going to be doing some art. I'm going to give you an art directive so that you can look at what that issue, maybe it's a person or a situation, what that feels like for you, and then how to create a boundary for yourself. All right? All right, so in this drawing that I created, I wanted to show you the difference between a rigid boundary and a more of a weaker, less rigid boundary. So this says, I've been hurt, stay away. So if our boundaries have been broken, we might build really thick walls. This is made out of cement. It says, warning, stay away. It's got barbed wire. So we might have really thick walls or fences that don't allow anyone to come in. So we might need to think about that and might have to do some healing around what does that wall look like for you, okay? Or you might have boundaries that are a little bit more open. It might be too open. This is a bleeding heart, always giving away the energy. Their heart has been taken out. They're holding it. They're just like, take it away. So they say yes to everything. So there is really no boundary. People can kind of come in and they can walk right away, right? And you might feel taken advantage of. You might have resentment. So it brings up a lot of feelings when we don't have a healthy boundary in this sense. So I do want you to think about what your boundary looks like for this drawing that we're about ready to create. Do you have thick walls? Do you have a thick fence? Or is it really open? Okay, so do consider that, because we are going to do an art piece now, but I just wanted to show you the two different variations. I invite you to grab an art journal, a sketchbook, where you can have a blank page. And what I love about this is that you can close it and put it away, right? And all your art stays in one space. You can go ahead and grab some markers. You're welcome to use watercolors if you'd like to use watercolors, or you can grab some oil pastels. All right. So for this exercise, we are going to go ahead and draw ourselves in the center, because remember, with boundaries, we're the ones who are being affected. So whether we need to put boundaries for ourselves, limits, or are we putting boundaries for other people that might be taking advantage or not being very kind to us? So we're going to be looking at either the rigid boundaries or weak boundaries, just looking at what that looks like for you. So just to draw the person, I'm going to put the person in the middle. I'm going to start with the circle. I'm going to put a little neck, which is a square. I'm going to draw the figure, which is circular, and rectangle for my feet or my legs, and then we have my feet, and then my arms. How do I want my arms to be with my boundaries? I have them out and I'm putting them up. Ooh, awesome. So what I want you to do after you draw your person and you think about your person with boundaries, what does that look like for you? This is going to be you. I want you to think about the situation. Is it a person? Is it their energy? Are they not being kind? Or it might even be for yourself. Maybe there's some limits that you need to put on. It could be over shopping or overuse of alcohol or drugs, or things that you might need to put a limit on yourself. Maybe it's smoking, whatever it is. And then think about what it is that you're trying to put the limit on. So I want you to include what that feeling is on the outside of you. Okay, so what does that look like? So I'm just going to symbolically thinking of a situation. The person wasn't very nice, and their energy very kind of daggery. I felt like daggers coming in, going out. So energetically, I'm drawing what that looked like or felt like for me. I do feel like it's important to look at what that looks like so that you can sense it. And then as soon as you sense that energy, how important it is to put up a protection, right? Put up a protective shield. What does that look like for you? So for me, when I sense that energy, when someone is trying to control or not be very nice, and I do not want their energy in my field, then I do imagine like a white light or like a golden shimmer that I am protecting my own energy and I'm not allowing them in. So what does that look like for you? And you can go ahead and draw that out. Again, I do have a cord cutting meditation. If you feel very connected to this person and you're not sure how to cut that energy cord that's coming through here, you can do a visualization that I have. You're welcome to do that. This is a visual of putting up that boundary. Yes. Look at that. I love it. So what am I protecting? What is in here that I want to protect? Well, my energy. What does my energy look like? So I'm going to color that in. All right, I wanted to share my image with you because with boundaries, especially if someone is bringing their energy to you, remember, don't take it personal. It's usually what the person is dealing with. It might be their personality, right? I mean, you could go anywhere. It could be the grocery store, the post office, or it might be someone you work with or even live with. But if they're bringing that energy that feels like it is coming into your space, that you need to put a block on it so that you aren't affected, this is a way to do it. So it's taking a visualization that you have that power, that force field all around you, right? So 2 parts to this was looking at what does that energy feel like from that other person. I put like spiky edges coming towards me. I could feel the spiky edges in the dark, the grayness of it. But then I put myself in the middle and I put my energy bubble. That's how I like to look at it, is like an energy bubble, and having that force field to block off that energy. Now, if it does get on you, you can wipe it off, right? Just say, you know what? I don't want to keep this energy. Don't want it next to me. Get it off me. So you can always like shake it off. But ideally, just going into that situation, knowing that you have to interact with them and keep your peace, saying, you know what, they're not coming into this bubble. I'm keeping my peace, right? And I can just put out love. I don't have to take in any negativity. All right, I hope this visual is helpful for you, and I hope you enjoyed this process. I love to hear your response around it. And if you like this kind of content, please go ahead and subscribe and like. You're also welcome to work with me. You can schedule a consultation to see if we're a good fit, or you're welcome to join the Creative Soul Society membership. This is a really amazing community of creatives where we do lots of art for self-care. I facilitate a lot of the sessions, and then I also invite other artists in and other art therapists to teach us some healing art techniques. All right, I hope you have a beautiful day and join me for the next one. Bye.